Is the cost of living in Medford, Oregon actually as affordable as people say? Hey everyone, I'm Simona Fino and welcome to Living Southern Oregon. All right, today I'm breaking down exactly what it costs to live in Medford to help you decide whether Medford is affordable enough for you to live here. All right, before we dive in, if you're liking my videos, will you please do me a favor, give me a thumbs up, like it, subscribe to the channel, it really helps me out. All right, let's be real. The actual cost of living in Medford pretty much depends on your lifestyle, your property goals, and where exactly in town you want to plant your roots. So whether you're coming from a large West Coast city like Seattle or San Francisco or a small Midwest town, either way, knowing what to expect for living expenses is going to help you decide if it's really as affordable as you need or want it to be. All right, because I'm a real estate agent, we're going to start with housing costs. So right now, we're looking at right around $400,000 for your average home in Medford. Now this is for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. You're gonna start to see that most listings are right in that $400 to $450 if you're looking for something that's been reasonably updated and probably in the 1,500 to 1,700 square foot range. Now, naturally, these prices fluctuate depending on neighborhood, the acreage, the lot size, age of the home, but that's kind of the sweet spot. Now, if you're looking for something over 2,000 square feet and that's been fully updated and a larger lot, you're gonna start seeing prices in the $500,000 to $600,000 range. And then of course, as you get into the more rural areas, adding acreage, that also is going to increase that price. But if you're looking into mortgage costs with today's rates hovering right around 6.5% to 7%, you'll probably want to budget maybe about $3,000 a month for mortgage, taxes, and home insurance on a median priced home, and that's assuming the standard 20% down payment and your average property taxes. All right, I want you to remember, if your goal is building equity or creating generational wealth or securing a legacy property for your family, then these costs should feel like an investment, not just an expense. All right, let's talk about renting. Now for the average 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, you're gonna be starting right around $2,000 up to $4,000 a month, depending on the square footage, the lot size, and of course the neighborhood. An older 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment is gonna run about $1,500 to $1,700, again, depending on the square footage and neighborhood. Now, some of these brand new apartments in Medford are running about $1,600 for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. All right, beyond the price tag of the house, you also need to know your monthly living costs. So let's take a look at some of those things. First of all, let's start with house stuff because it's all connected, right? So your utilities, your electricity, water, heating, trash service, all of that's gonna be about $115 to $120 a month for an individual and maybe about $200 for a family. And again, those numbers can change with the seasons, you know, in the summertime or the winter, depending on how much heat or AC you like. Internet, you're gonna expect to pay anywhere from $75 to $100 a month, and that's gonna get you an unlimited plan, and that a lot of local providers. Now, Starlink is gonna be a little more. That's for your rural properties. Those are gonna cost a couple $100, I think, just to set up for the equipment, and then about $100 a month. All right, now as for taxes, our property taxes are pretty good here, especially compared to places like California. It's typically about just under 1% of the assessed value of the home. Now remember, taxes aren't based on the purchase price, but rather the assessed value. So you can expect for a median price home that you're gonna be paying about $350 to $400 a month for your taxes. And then I would allot probably $150 a month or so for just random things that come up that you need to fix on a home. Now, sometimes there's an HOA, not very often. It's not standard here. Those run anyway from, I would say, $50 to $100, $150 tops. All right, health insurance. This is a big one, of course. So a healthy adult or couple, you're gonna be paying, I would say, $600 to $800 a month, depending. And if you're retiring or managing health conditions, just be sure to prioritize insurance in your budget, and don't forget all of those out-of-pocket healthcare expenses that might not be covered by your insurance. And you may find yourself driving longer distances to work with a specialist, so factor that in. One of my favorite things about Southern Oregon is that you don't have to compromise on good, fresh food, even while on a budget. So let's talk about some of those essentials, right? Well, groceries, dining out even. Now, I think you'll be surprised that it's pretty reasonable here, especially if you shop wisely and you eat more home-cooked meals than you do going out. Now, groceries for a couple or a small family, you're gonna wanna budget $600 to $800 a month. Again, don't forget about farmers markets, don't forget about roadside stands. Cooking at home, and especially with these fresh ingredients, is a really great way to save a lot of money. I also love Food for Less in Medford. They have some great prices on both organic and conventional food. All right, so right now here you're gonna see eggs run about $3 to $4 in the stores, $4 to $6 for farm fresh from a roadside stand. A pound of chicken breast is gonna be $5 to $7, upwards 7 or 8 for organic. Bread is gonna be about $3 to $5, upwards of $8 to $10 if you're going organic and local. If you go out to eat, it's gonna be about $20 for a meal for two for lunch, and about $90 for dinner. All right, next are household goods and extras. So these are things like all your toiletries, your shampoo, toothpaste, paper towels, that kind of stuff. So you're gonna look at about 25, maybe $40 a month for those kinds of things. And of course, add in if you got kids. All right, if you're going out, a glass of wine is gonna cost you around $9. A beer is gonna be about $7. Cocktails, anywhere from $9 to $15. Going to the movies is $6 on a discount day, $15 if you're going on a regular and it's kind of a fancier movie. There's lots of live music, and that can be anything from free to upwards of $50 to $75 depending on where you go. All right, now what to expect when it comes to transportation. So your fuel and your car. Gas is a lot cheaper here than a lot of places, especially California. We're at almost $4 a gallon, just under. Now, if you work from home or you don't have a big commute, you're gonna spend about $100 a month. Oil changes are about $60. When you go to register for the DMV, especially if you're coming from California, you're gonna find that it's a lot cheaper. It's gonna be about $100 to $200 to register your car. All right, so all of that said, is Medford truly affordable? Well, you're gonna have to let me know what you think, because compared to Portland or Bend, heck yeah, it's affordable. Compared to California, you bet it is, but that might not meet your goal. So let me know, does this meet your goals? If you're finding that Medford is affordable and you'd like to peruse and start considering buying a home here, please reach out to me anytime. I'd be happy to help you. And of course, if you're looking at selling your home, I would also love to help you. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to checking in with you next time.